I wouldn't say this episode contains the most clues, but it was definitely very entertaining. I laughed out loud many, many times because Metropoloi Bash. Did you guys know I used to go to a bar actually called Hoi Polloi? Anyway, number one, who would have thought that Camila was the buyer behind Oliver's apartment? Literally everyone on the internet. I mean, I don't know because I didn't check, but at least I did. Number two, Charles calling his 6-hour, not even a situationship, his girlfriend was the kind of hope that I needed in my life, because I very much agree with Penn Badgley in the is it ever casual thing. Can you imagine if I called every single person I talked to on Bumble a situationship? This is what I mean. I laugh at all these silly things because it's funny that the old person is insulting the other old person about not knowing colloquialisms, but then he also doesn't understand them. Very funny. Also, side note about that, when the two old people were like saying, oh, it's so sad when an old person goes missing. You are old. Also, another side note, Oliver is 74 years old. He looks so young. These damn actors, they're messing with our perception of time. Anyway, before we discuss the actual episode, shout out to the dude from Nerds at Night for actually figuring out the plot that was revealed in this episode about the casino. Fun. I know I don't look like I'm having fun, but that's because I'm just struggling a lot with my period pain recently. Like, it's been getting worse for years and years, and it's been horrible recently, and I feel like the energy has been drained out of my literal body, and it's hard. Anyway, about the episode. We meet the mayor. Shout out to the commenter that a few episodes ago said, oh, for sure the mayor's assistant is on the Bash payroll, because yes, worse than that, it's the niece. So not even on Bash's payroll, just family. And we find out the most shocking, surprising news of the whole season. The billionaires own everyone. Oh, what shocking news. The billionaires own the mayor. Not the billionaires, Bash. Bash owns the mayor. Bash owns the police. Probably owns the firefighters. The firefighter place. Oh, what shocking revelation. Mayor. Oh no. We could not have guessed that. We could not have foreseen that at all. So I feel like it's safe to say that, I mean, is it? But I will get to it. I'll get to it. About the fire. However, do you know what would be hilarious? Because even with the shenanigans of this entire episode, we still don't know who the hell the finger belongs to. And we don't, well, I think we know. I think we know who inside the Arconia sold the finger for that much money. I think we know, and I will get to it. I can't believe they gave us this. If it isn't the person I'm thinking of, I will protest. I will revolt. I will start a revolution. Oh, when he said that, oh, when Jay said, you have no idea how much money we paid for this, I was immediately, I was thinking of him, but I'll get to it. What was I saying? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. No, this is not what I mean to say. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, it would be really cool. It would be really, really cool if the person who's actually behind all of this is the opposition to the mayor. Because I was thinking, if this mayor is bought by Bash, and he said that he was bought by Bash because when he was coming up, no one had bought him, so he had no money. So all the other people who also, I was just about to say applied to be mayor. All the other people who ran to be mayors are bought by someone else. So if Bash bought this guy, who has Camila bought? Who has Jay bought? This is what I want to know. And is it possible? Because these little idiots, not idiots, I call everyone an idiot, but the people behind the show just give us the biggest clues in the smallest little things. And I was saying this last episode about the goddamn casino petition, because clearly that was important. They wouldn't put it there if it weren't important. And now that the mayor was like, oh, maybe my opponent did it. Can we go track him down and send him to prison so I can be reelected? What if he did? What if he did? Because surely he has to be bought by some other billionaire. What if he did? But anyway, the mayor sends the Bash niece to go get coffee, and then he tells the trio, oh, definitely Bash was the one who did it. And I don't trust him. I don't trust you, Mayor, because we're not going to get the people who actually did it as our suspects in the 7th episode. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a big revelation in episode 9, episode 10 at the latest. So there's no way in hell it was actually Bash. And you pointing your finger towards him with such fervor makes me believe it wasn't Bash and it was actually you. And then Bash was super honest to Charles, being like, no, I hate death. This is why I'm doing all of this. I'm about life. I'm about extending life. I wonder who Bash is supposed to be. Wanting to extend life that much. And honestly, another thing about Bash, I was a little freaked. Not by the sun. The sun is fine. I was freaked by the way, first of all, his name. What the hell? And he referred to his dad as Papa, like in Pride and Prejudice. How old are you, Bash? What the hell? Like, this is my current supernatural theory that will not come true and is just here for entertainment. Nikki's a vampire. Bash is a vampire. And Nikki was finally killed, not with a cleaver. The cleaver was the cover-up. He was killed with a stake to the heart, and then they took out the stake and put the cleaver in. Now back to reality. I don't trust the mayor. They meet the billionaires, right? And at some point, like, they're observing and whatever, nothing is happening. At some point, Bash is like, no, I have business to attend to. I gotta go outside. And but you don't have any business. You're going to cut down a tree. And you know what? The vampire theory is good and well. But also, what if this guy is a clone of himself? What if the plot twist is that the kid is just a new version? Like in Foundation, where they have to decant a version to like grow up with them. And there's always 3 of them. What if this is the new Bash? That they're growing, that Bash is growing so then he can transplant his consciousness into the kid. What if the show somehow becomes supernatural? Or sci-fi? Also, why is Logan learning so damn charming? Like, the only thing that kind of leads me to believe that Jay isn't the baddie is the fact that he has chemistry with, like, Mabel. That's my only clue, because I'm so suspicious of that little shit, and the only thing truly keeping me from believing that he's the actual true killer is that they have chemistry. And if they're going to introduce a love interest for Mabel, the love interest is never the killer. Charles's love interests are the killer, never Mabel's. And another thing that I have to point out, when Mabel uncovers the whole thing and they play the little games so that the billionaires can tell them the truth and whatever, seeing the guy that played Landa in Inglourious Bastards, like, saying all that shit about just world leaders and authoritarian leaders, most of them apart from Bernie Sanders, like the way he reacted to the name Bernie Sanders, and then Jay immediately knew who he was. That's so funny. And he was saying, Vladimir Putin comes to my party every year and does like banana pancakes or whatever the hell he said. That was beautiful. And not once. They didn't mention the orange man once. Oh. That would have been fun though. But at the end of the episode, we are left with 2 lingering questions that I do not have the answer to, but I will try. 1, who the hell does that finger belong to? That purple ass finger. Who the hell does it belong to? It's not Jay's. It never made sense to be Jay's. Like, it is literally no one's that we have seen so far, because we've seen everyone's hands and they all have the goddamn finger. Honestly, the only person I'm thinking of right now is Randall, but I can't remember if he was wearing gloves or not. Like, if there are gloves as part of the doorman suit, and I don't think so. And I think he had all his fingers. Whose hands have we not seen? Is the question, isn't it? Whose hands have we not seen? And could the person, at this point, my biggest theory for who the hell the finger belongs to is a person we haven't met yet. It's going to be like a big ass revelation in the same way that Jay's little finger was a revelation. Like, oh, we have a missing finger and here is a person with a missing finger. You know, it's going to be a shocker like that. It has to be. At some point, we're going to see the little party at the casino, maybe to lure this person in or something, and they will reveal that they have one less finger, and it will be the person that is missing the finger. But also, why would winning the finger mean winning the bid to build the casino? Who was there that night? Because we know that the 3 billionaires were there. We know that the person who lost his finger was there, and we know that Nikki was there. 5 people. And it can't be the mayor because the mayor has his fingers. But couldn't the mayor also have been there? Or like, would a plan like this of building the casino go even above the mayor? I have no idea. Like, the public servant functions in the US are, I mean, I know enough to understand the politics, but I don't know who would be responsible for something like this. Would it be the mayor? I'm going to have to learn even more about US politics. I don't want to. Anyway, this whole rant for me to pose the question, who does that finger belong to? And is it a very important person? And is this person related? I mean, they have to be related to casino permits for sure. But then, you guys, the second most important question is, who did they pay off such a steep amount of money to get that finger? Because many of you have said, and I think very correctly, that the black marks next to Charles's fridge are from the robot, that the robot was the one who stole the finger. And I think you all know by this point, after watching my content for so long, I think you all know that I think it was going to be Howard. And I was on such a high, you guys, when I heard that. And I heard, oh, they paid for the finger? They weren't the ones who retrieved the finger? They simply erased the footage of the person who retrieved the finger? Oh, what fun. Oh, what interesting plot twist. Oh, who could it possibly have been? And I immediately, like, on a high, because I thought, oh, the robot who's closest to the robot, Howard. It has to be Howard. But it's not gonna be him. I just know it. I just know it's not gonna be him. They're not going to give this to us. It's going to be someone else at the Arconia, some worker from the underground, maybe the new Lester. Oh, I just know it's not gonna be Howard. If it is Howard, if they finally do it, if they finally have the courage to do it, and it is Howard, and we find out of all of these schemes that he has been doing over the years to pay for his apartment at the Arconia, I will be over the moon. But I'm putting it in, I was just about to say cement. I'm putting it in writing, in video writing right now. They're not going to blame Howard. It's gonna be someone else. If I'm wrong. It's gonna be a fun video if I'm wrong. And my last little comment before I wrap this already long video up is the Camilla Club looks kind of fun. Says the person who's never been to a casino. I actually lived in a city with a casino, with a really old historic casino. Never went in.